that.
That is a big gator.
Holy cow.
I can't tell where.
Right behind his head. Right there.
That it?
Today's episode is all about the bang stick.
This right here, in my opinion, is the only way to go as far as final shot.
Try to a little bit. Perfect shot. There. Yes.
So this particular model, I think this thing's about, what's that, five and a half feet long. This one has a built-in safety, has a two-part safety that's built into it. This is a quick release pin, and this is the main safety. So the quick release, this is just a holder for it. This is the real safety, and that's where the cotter pin goes as a speed safety. So if I'm in a hunting situation, most of the time this thing stays unloaded. There's nothing in here. When we get an alligator on, we get about time to kill, we'll load this thing up, and it's slam fired. So if you can see that spring, there's a spring in here that keeps this piece held out, and the cartridge goes in here. I need to clean this thing probably, but this is a spent cartridge from here. So what we're using, this is a 357 Magnum casing. You can see how different that primer strike is. It's very, very different from a handgun. And basically when you slam this thing down, it depresses this housing and exposes that firing pin. Basically what happens is shell's in here, slid all the way down. There's nothing in the barrel. It's just a little 2-inch barrel sleeve basically. Casing's in there. This screws in tight. You'll screw it in a little bit tighter than that, and you slam this thing down square, hard and fast, and it'll fire.
Right there.
Like I said, it's got a two-part safety. When this thing's up, this thing can't move. Good to go. Hopefully that's helpful. That's probably one of the most asked questions I get on our alligator hunting videos, is what we're using to shoot with. I wouldn't hunt without it. There's a few reasons that I think that the bang stick's important. You know, it's never a good idea to fire a gun underwater. Normally a spent casing is going to be clean brass that can be reused. This piece of brass, the first alligator we ever killed, actually, when we couldn't get the casing out, it actually split this casing. My assumption is because it was underwater when it went off, and the back pressure that's not typically there when the cartridge explodes, the pressure that's usually sent down range, didn't have anywhere to go, so it exploded. Had this been you know, in a handgun or a rifle, we'd have had a bad day. So that's one advantage. You can fire it underwater without having a lot of issues, which you can't do with the handgun. And you know, it's getting you away from the business end of an alligator, which is always helpful.
Golly, look at that.
That is a big gator.
Holy cow.
I can't tell where.
Right behind his head. Right there.
That it?
Holy smokes.
That's awesome.
Holy cow.